Skybird Wash TV chain interview. My name is Mariangela and I'm currently in Venezuela, and I welcome to this virtual stage to my colleague Nicole.
Good morning, Mariangela. My name is Nicole Klaesener-Metzner. I work as a wash specialist for UNICEF, the South Asia Regional Office.
So Nicole, today you have picked up hand hygiene as a topic. So I would like to ask you, why did you select this topic?
So I would like to talk about hand hygiene today because I think it's been put front and center when the COVID pandemic started. But at the same time, for me, the topic was always key and always front and center. Hand hygiene is one of the most effective ways of combating or avoiding diseases such as diarrhea, respiratory diseases, many others. It is often referred to as a very simple practice and cost-effective, and yet we as development actors, or in general as human beings, don't really do it well and are still struggling with it. There is a large variety of topics and themes that are super important to me, and it makes it just really, really fascinating to me. So the fact that it spans engineering solutions which need to take into account aspects of inclusivity, hand hygiene stations adapted to children, differently able, gender, the placement of hand washing stations in emergency settings like refugee camps, pro-poor policies. Is soap a luxury item and should it be taxed with VAT? Behavior change, all of this at the same time. So in the wash sector, we're working on this really for quite a long time, and knowledge is quite high. Yet the practice is not applied consistently. So even in developed countries where all the enabling environment, the water, the soap, the hand washing stations, everything is in place and readily available, still hand hygiene practices are never at 100%. What is hand hygiene for all? How do we define it? How do we measure it? With hand hygiene being so notoriously difficult to measure, proxy indicators, self-reporting, but that's not the most reliable way of doing it. And kind of all those are super fascinating aspects of a hard to answer question for such a simple practice.
Absolutely. It looks so simple, and yet we know that as a wash professionals, we always struggle to understand really how the behavior change can happen and persist.
Exactly.
And thanks for bringing this up. And I would like now to ask you, if you can share with us something like an interesting aspect of hand washing, in your opinion. You mentioned already many, but if you could pick one that is really key for you.
Well, basically, if you want to break it down, promoting hand hygiene essentially means three things. It's saving lives, which sounds very grand, but access to hand hygiene in healthcare facilities, schools, public places, homes, it's essential to protect global health and reduce the risk of future outbreaks, help us deal with current outbreaks. It's a simple, as we said, a simple measure that has a very big potential impact. It's saving money. If you're not sick, you can go to work. You don't have to deal with healthcare costs. And then it's kind of just protecting us in general for the future. When you're healthy, you're happy. And that's kind of where we all want to be, healthy and happy human beings.
Yeah, it's so much what you say is also an issue of human right, no? Life with dignity, living with dignity means also being healthy and having the possibility to access school without being sick and so on and so forth. Yeah, absolutely. So Nicole, if you had a magic power, what would you change in the way we see and we work, if you like, in hand hygiene?
If I had a magic power, I think I would making washing your hands with soap something that's much more fun than it currently is. So much fun indeed that no one would ever forget about it. It wouldn't be seen as a chore. People wouldn't try to avoid it. Even in the best enabling environment imaginable, people often don't wash their hands. I would kind of come up with a magical machine that you always have in your hands or something like this. You push a button and bam, they're clean. It's affordable. It's always on you, like magically. I don't know, maybe a glove or something. It never runs out of cleaner, which is like a magic soap equivalent. It looks and feels fun. It can be used by everyone, regardless of your abilities. And
I think that would be really a magic that we are all expecting to have and waiting for. So like, the last question is a bit personal. So I would like to ask you, if you could just buy a flight ticket now and tomorrow leave for a holiday, where would you go and to do what, if I may ask?
I think I would go to a magical place that has mountains and a beach really, really close together. So I can go hiking in the mountains, which is something that when you live in Kathmandu, you really get to enjoy. Yeah. And after the hike, you just go for a swim in the ocean and you hang out at the beach, which is something that I really miss a little bit here.
Yeah, I see the point. Well, thanks a lot, Nicole, for bringing up all these very interesting points of view about hand washing. Sometimes we think it's so simplistic and we tend to consider hand washing just like few messages, and it's all a word behind that. So I thank you agreeing to do this interview. I thank all the people that have watched this video, and I encourage you to tune in to the next Skybird interview, which you will lead in the next week. And thanks a lot, and bye for now.